Okay. Is this working?
Uno momento, por favor.
See. I see your beautiful face.
Look at my face. All right, let me see. Oh, if I could spell your name. There we go. Okay, still got nothing. Here, let me close my Facebook and reopen it and see.
But I see you. I see you streaming on everything right now. So
okay.
Anybody that's hanging out with us right now,
let's know what
technology is more fun than a barrel of monkeys. So
yeah, I'm still seeing a black screen, babe.
Because I see you, like, because I pulled up another screen. I see you.
I'm on my phone, and this is what I got. I got nothing.
Bloop.
Bloop. I got nada.
Let's see. And if anybody is seeing us right now, please just drop down in the comments that, hey, bonjour, je m'appelle, whatever your name is, and you see us.
Oh, got it. Okay, so it looks like it's a different live.
I don't know what it is. I just clicked a whole bunch of buttons.
Because the first one said, here she is, Patti Klumpp, and that was the black screen one. Now this one says the do's and don'ts of kid-dog interaction, and that's the one that seems to be working.
Oh, yes. Yep, I think that's the one that is working. Because I see the same one with Patti Klumpp that is blank.
Okay, cool. Hooray!
I'm really excited. And here is the humanness of...
We're real people, folks.
All right, so let me compose myself for 1 minute. Bonjour, welcome to episode number 2 of Pawpular Pet Talks. Technology and me are not friends. I'm also the absolute worst salesperson ever with numbers and math. So I just know where to steer in my lane. Here's the thing. Patti Klumpp has totally given me some things to talk about tonight. And it's actually really helped me reflect how I am as a dog parent and how I'm also as a parent for my kids as well, interacting with our pets. And so I think that's really, really important. So we do have, a couple of things to really talk about. I know we're a couple minutes late, so hang out with us for a little bit longer if you don't mind. But I really do want to introduce y'all. This is Patti Klumpp. She is amazing. She's with, she's the pet care extraordinaire is what she's always calling. But she's with Rebel Paws Pet Care. And she also has a lot of experience with high risk breeds. And I say that very, very this, because I don't think that there are high risk breeds. I think that there are, and Patty's going to talk about that a lot with us too. The pit bulls, the Doberman pinschers, everything else. I think that there's a lot of stigmas out there, and I am very much looking forward to that education as well. Even if that has to go into a different, episode and things like that. I also think too, most important things are babies and our fur babies are safe. Correct. So I'm going to pass this on over. Patti Klumpp, you're awesome. Rebel Paws, tell us what is the first thing about you that you want us to know.
I tell it like it is. I tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. I will have the hard discussions. I will tell you the thing that you need to get into your earballs.
Yep.
Earballs.
No, I got that.
Yeah. And sometimes, especially when you're dealing with dogs and kids and, different dynamics and personalities and all of the things, it's not all sunshine and roses and candy canes,
Right.
And honestly, if people, professionals aren't that way, i.e. telling you the truth and being honest, that's a problem. You know, because you need to know the cold hard truth from a professional standpoint, so that you can make the best decision possible for you and your family.
Absolutely. And I've been very transparent with you. You know, I have a 5-year-old daughter who almost sees my 18-month-old dog as a stuffed animal. And at the same time, he's still a puppy and she's still young. And I want to maybe learn a little bit about how they both can kind of grow together, so to speak. You know,
they absolutely can. So the number one thing from as a parent for your children interacting with dogs is this: if you would not like a strange human being doing XYZ to your child, do not let them do it to your dog.
Right.
Period. Do you want somebody going up, like a strange man going up to your child and be like, "Oh, smoochy poo"? Somebody be getting knocked out. Okay. And that's very that's very invasive. That's very, it's personal. It's the same for dogs. So I remember when I was a kid, God, probably junior high, maybe not even that old, there was this exercise. We had like a guest speaker, and there was an exercise. They were like, put your arms all the way around you, all the way around, and anywhere your arms can reach is your personal space. And nobody is allowed to enter or penetrate that personal space barrier without your consent. Dogs have personal space bubbles as well. Absolutely. That we need to ensure when possible that those are respected, just like we would for our children. Because let's face it, kids, they don't care about personal space.
That's very true.
And don't care about personal space.
So and I can say to you, like, and I can absolutely have that conversation with you. My 5-year-old daughter, she loves everything stuffy, just like we had talked about. But we had an opportunity to adopt a husky, a Pomsky, I think is what it was, kind of a mix. And you know, she's used to the little fluffy Cocker Spaniel, the little tiny dogs and everything. And one of the first things that she had realized was that she wanted to get up into the face of that Pomsky. And that Pomsky was very, very,
no, thank you.
Yes. And so it took me back a little bit, because she is such a loving, she just wants to love on them. So what can I do to maybe help her? And also, you know, Duke, my dog, is a Cocker Spaniel. What is something that maybe we can make them both comfortable with that? What are your thoughts
for your daughter? See, the way I educate is I show you. So the very best thing, now pardon me guys, this might be a little uncomfortable, and that's kind of the point, is to get all up in your daughter's face like this.
Yeah.
And let her like back away and feel how uncomfortable that is to have another living being all up in her business. Right. Let her experience that. And then say, you know what, honey, that's what Duke feels when you are all up in his face.
Right.
He doesn't like that. So give him a little bit of space. Go up, you know, from a safety perspective. Face-to-face greetings for a dog with a human or another dog are never a good idea.
So help me with this. You know, that is a really great situation for a trusted, you know, child dog interaction. What happens, you know, we're out at the parks and different things like that. What is going to happen when that friendly dog comes up to my daughter, or whatever it might be? What do you suggest in that capacity?
So if an unknown dog is approaching your child, tell them to be a tree. Basically to stand tall, still, hands down to their sides, and fold in their branches, their hands. Okay, kind of like arms down. Here, I'll show you. Arms down.
Okay.
Which way am I going? There we go. And folded. And watch their roots grow. So they're going to have their head down looking at their feet, because to avoid eye contact.
Okay.
And they're going to count in their head until the dog goes away or until help comes. So it's going to be stillness, no eye contact, and no hand gestures and movements. Okay. So the reason for that is children, especially the younger ones, can be very spastic, like in the sense of very fast, quick, unexpected movements. And that can be very upsetting to dogs, even a known dog. So with an unknown dog, you especially want to avoid that. So just be still. Don't make eye contact. Don't put your hands down. There's two places that kids generally get bit, and that's the hands and the face. And I'm sure you could probably assume why.
Yep.
Because kids are taught to do this to dogs. And if you're looking at the video now, this is what it feels like from a dog's perspective when you're shoving your hand in their face.
Right.
Don't do that. So if an unknown dog is approaching you, just be a tree.
Right. And I appreciate that so much, being a treat, because we are like most children, most folks that are going to approach a dog wants to approach that dog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I love your advice about, if a dog approaches a child that doesn't want it, because there is a lot of fear out there nowadays.
Absolutely.
And with that, you had mentioned something. What's a doggy detective? You had mentioned something about being a doggy detective. Enlighten us a little bit about this, Patti.
So this is a fun thing that I like to teach kiddos, specifically ones like your kids' age. So this is absolutely perfect because they're old enough and mature enough to understand the concepts and understand what it is that they're learning, but they're not so old that they're like, this is stupid. Mm-hmm. So to be a doggy detective basically is they have to look for clues in the dog's body language, in their facial cues, in their noises that they're making, all of the things, right? The dog in its entirety, and make a decision. Is it safe to approach or interact with that dog? So the very first thing is in being a doggy detective, they're going to learn how to speak dog in a super fun, easy way that's going to stick with them.
Got it.
So, for example, primarily the signals that you want to look out for in a dog are ones that illustrate them being unhappy, right? Because if they're happy, that nothing bad is usually that doesn't equate to bad things happening. It's generally when a dog is unhappy, scared, whatever, that bad things happen. So there's a whole host of body language clues that indicate discomfort or, unease. And that's going to be, their ears are back or flat.
Right.
Lip licking, it could be very, very subtle, like a quick little thing, or it could be exaggerated, right? Whale eye. So whale eye, basically what that means is if you look at a dog, the biggest part of the eye that you are typically going to see is going to be the color part. But if you see a majority of their eye is white, meaning the whites around it, that means they're like, oh my God, I'm so upset. I'm so curious. I don't know what's happening. That's not a good look. Okay. Yawning.
Because I honestly, I'm just like, he has the white eyes again. He's looking at us.
Yeah. He's like wide eye, when somebody said, oh, so-and-so was wide eyed. Yeah. It means they're uncertain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Typically, in a human capacity, same deal. And actually what's funny is that there was a study done that I'm interrupting my own self. A study done that kind of mimicked that showed that the facial cues of a human being when they are uncomfortable, scared, uneasy are very similar to the facial cues that a dog gives.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yawning out of context is a sign of discomfort. Their eyes being closed or squinty closed and looking away, that's not a good sign. a paw raised up off of, the three of them are on the ground and one is lifted, that's not necessarily a friendly sign. Their mouth closed or snarling is not a friendly sign. If their body is stiff or rigid, that's not a good sign. If they're crouched any kind of way, not a happy dog. If they have hard eyes, meaning they're looking like, when somebody says daggers were shooting out of their eyes, that kind of eye contact. If their toes are curling into the floor or the ground, almost like as if trying to like grip, that's not a good thing. So in teaching kids to look out specifically for those things. So to be a detective and detect, what are their ears doing? What are their eyes doing? What's their face doing? That can go a long way in them being able to decipher when it is okay and safe to approach and or interact with a dog.
Got it. And what are, I love this as well, because what I really think is a connection between dogs and us as humans. You follow this up with being mindful of our own bodies as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we're not comfortable with something, what is a very safe way to maybe back off from those threats? How can we maybe teach our kids to maybe see, and this might be a two-part question, but if there's a playfulness versus a back offness. So
So are you saying that if the child is hesitant or is unsure of the dog's intent, what should they do?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I think a dog's first intuition, especially if he or she knows, somebody that's a stranger or anything, let's check it out, and especially with younger children, that can be very intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
So when can we, as parents, how can we recognize the attack versus the curiosity, so to speak? Is that helpful?
Yep. So it's going to be kind of some of the things, the body language stuff that I just touched on.
Okay.
That's going to be some of the stuff that you're going to look out for. So from the dog perspective, from the kid perspective, always just teach your child, like if they are unsure or afraid of or feeling some kind of way about the dog and they're not sure if they want to interact, just step back. Literally, physically take several steps back. Don't scream, don't run, any of that stuff, because that is going to indicate to the dog usually either A, that the child wants to play, which is generally not, if they're backing away, that's not going to be the case. Or B, it's going to be a threatening type of action. So just tell the kid, just to gently just back away. If there's an adult right there, duck behind the adult, something like that. That to never feel like they have to engage.
Sure. And I think that's also the thing too. It's like this natural child thing. And I get it. It's like, oh, puppies.
I'm a professional and I'm 43 years old and I'm like, my first instinct is puppy.
Yeah.
And then my training pops in and I'm like, dial it down.
Right. And I really appreciate these tools, because it helps also our children. And, my kids are young, like they're 7 and 5 years old. Yeah. It also helps them develop an awareness of their own selves and their own,
their presence in the world and how it affects other beings.
Absolutely. And I know we're starting to kind of wind it down just a little bit, but there is something that I really, and I would love to have you back, obviously, Patti, with all of this, because I think it's so important. How many, and you don't have to answer this. I know that you have experience with a lot of, again, what we had talked about, those high risk dogs and different things like that. And how many of those instances could be proactively, what can we do to help our kids and our dogs live comfortable lives, regardless of their breeds, everything else. And so I want to kind of pull into this really quick. So whether it be a Chihuahua, whether it be a Pit Bull, whether it be a Cocker Spaniel, they're all of these dogs still have an intuition. They still have, this fight or flight within them.
They all have teeth and they can all bite.
Absolutely. So I think this would be super valuable for us to kind of maybe close out, what do we do and what's the difference between biting and playing, and what happens in those capacities when a dog actually bites?
So I think that when it comes to, so generically, anytime a dog puts teeth on a human being is no bueno. Okay. Right. Whether it's in play or not, that's not a good thing. Right. But again, it's knowing the signals of the dog, knowing what your dog's body language is trying to tell you, because this is what happens. So if a dog is feeling uncomfortable, they're going to do XYZ, exhibit XYZ body language things, right? And take that as them whispering, "I'm uncomfortable," right? And if that is not, if that is ignored or not noticed, then they have to up the ante a little bit. And their body language and their behavior is going to become a little more towards the, I don't want to say aggressive, but a little more overt, right? And that's them like, "Hey, guys, did you hear me? I'm not digging this." Mm-hmm. Then if that still goes ignored, unanswered, and the thing that they're uncomfortable with is still there, then they have to yell. And that's when bites happen.
Yeah.
Dogs are master communicators. Master communicators. We are the problem, we as human beings. So back to your question, we have to, number one, be able to identify when our dog is uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Period. Number two, we have to teach our children to have respect for all animals, no matter what. Do not ever invade their space when they're eating, have a bone, like sitting quietly, resting, sleeping. Remember the old adage when you were a kid, let sleeping dogs lie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not for nothing. When I am woken up by being poked or whatever, I wake up swinging. Right. We have to afford our dogs the same opportunity to rest peacefully. So it's education on both sides.
Absolutely.
And management. Our kids and our dogs can play together. I'm not saying they can't. What I'm saying is that you have to be cognizant of what it is your dog is trying to explain to you, because it doesn't have the vocabulary like we do. They speak French, we speak English, right?
Right.
Or they speak some unknown dialect of some unknown language that we don't understand right now. So we have to become fluent in dog. And then we have to teach our children to have respect and to not just go all up in their face. Leave them alone while they're eating. Leave them alone while they're playing nicely. Leave them alone while they're napping. And the last thing is, when the dog is wanting to interact, you can't just smother the dog with all the love and all the whatever. It's called consent to pet. So basically, like give the dog a couple scritches, remove your hand, right? Mm-hmm. And then if the dog is like, "Okay, yes, I would like some more of that, please," in some way, by nudging you or pawing you or coming closer to you, then you can continue to pet. But I think oftentimes what happens is that people, especially children, they're just so enamored by these adorable furry beings that they're just like, "I love you so much." And the dog's like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." And that goes unrecognized. And that's when tension builds. That's when relationships can turn sour, which can lead to a bite.
Right. No. And again, I know that you are such an advocate of what could happen if a bite happens, and also educating, us humans, so to speak. We have a responsibility for these animals that we have as well.
Yep.
and the animals that we have in our lives. And I guarantee you, I am a mother of 2 young kids. If they poke at me, eventually I will bite back in my own way.
Yep.
Our animals don't have any other way.
We have all kinds of ways to get
whatever's
in our space out of our space. They have one.
Absolutely.
So that's,
And at the same time, as a parent, after the poke, we owe it as, parents to educate our kids, to help our pets as well. Because if we're going to be responsible pet owners, we need to make sure that there's a healthy interaction with our kids and our pets and us as well. Yeah. That's becoming, responsible. It's not just about the neuter and spay, we have a lot of responsibility.
And it's every day, all day. Every single interaction that your dog has with a human being, they are learning.
Absolutely.
And that they may not be learning something that is healthy or what you intend for them to learn. But every interaction they have, they're learning something. And you really hate for them to learn that they don't like your kids, or they don't like when your kids are near them because XYZ happens.
Absolutely. And that goes for a puppy and a rescue as well. And I know that that's a conversation for a different day. Next week, we're actually going to be talking a little bit about responsible adoption and responsible rescue. And, I have my good friend, Angela Christensen, coming on board with all of that.
Awesome.
And she is going to be helping us with a lot of cat rescue, because that is such, there's so much with cats out there, and how can we help these kitties? And it almost seems just like this, I don't know.
Because cats are such a different being. Like dogs are very social.
Yes.
Cats generically are they're like do you remember the Disney movie with the Siamese cats, and they're like very prissy?
Oh, absolutely. Lady and the Tramp. And they're little assholes.
And that's kind of what cats are. Cats are like,
and they knock down like the little they're assholes. And I had a Siamese cat, and he was a big, poofy, gorgeous, and he knew that he was gorgeous. And I wouldn't change anything in the world. So I nurtured him just like the king that he was.
But I think that's the mistake that a lot of people make. Now, I'm not a cat person whatsoever.
I don't have cats anymore.
Just in my experience,
I have family members that won't come hang out with me if I have cats. So,
but just from my experience from the dog side, dogs are so generically so uber social,
right?
That when a cat is brought into the situation, people kind of expect the same, and that's not how cats generically operate. Cats are like, I'm going to be over here watching what's going on, and maybe I'll come and join you.
Exactly. Gosh, you know what? Half my mood is like cat anyway. I'm like, if I was a cat, I could totally get away with being social, or just leave me alone.
Like, I'll be social, and then when I'm done, you'll know, because I'll knock shit off the counter.
Oh my gosh, I've had so much fun hanging out with you tonight. And again, I just, again, this is something new, this is something fresh, and I'm trying to share some awesome just knowledge with the people in my network and your network, and just having conversations, because I am a big advocate that education comes in conversation.
Yes, and we all have something to learn from everyone else.
We absolutely do. And here's the thing too. So I'm gonna do a shameless little pitch for Patti right now. She is amazing. So everybody right now, I'm gonna put down into the comments, go do everything that you can. Harass Rebel Paws Pet Care, okay? Harass Patti Klumpp with this. Make sure that you know that it's KLUMPP. Because I'm a space cadet when it came to all of that. So check that out for sure. She also has an upcoming webinar, prevention webinar coming up. Guys, this is really important. I'm going to sign up for it as well. It's a dog bite prevention webinar, and she is offering 10% off a discount for any attendee for tonight's show. Okay. So this is going to be, and if it's okay with you, Patti, this is going to be plugged until next Thursday.
Sure.
So if anybody is interested between now and then, we want to make sure, pet safety for both our humans and our fur babies is so important. And she has so many newsletters, everything else. She's also a colleague of mine with Pawpular. And here's the thing. That's why I love connecting with Patti. She is teaching me so much. And we still have that same mission of making sure that our dogs and our cats and our pets have the absolute best. And she is driving in her lane with rescues and prevention and education. And I'm just wanting to pull all of that into this. So please follow Patti so that you can learn more. She is not just about kids and dog safety. She has so many more avenues. And again, I'm going to definitely share that with you down in the comments. Patti, is there anything else? I'm so excited. I learned so much tonight. What else? What are some parting words for us?
The bane of my existence as a pet professional, as a dog professional, is when I see those cute photos online where like the infant baby's laying on a big dog, or don't do that. Do not sacrifice your child's safety and your dog's life for likes on social media. Please, please, please.
I love that.
That makes me sick to my stomach. There are ways to get absolutely amazing photos of your dog and your kid and baby together whilst keeping everybody safe. Because here's the thing, guys. Both parties could end up very, very horribly hurt and or dead. And in reality, if your dog bites your child, chances are they will need to be euthanized. Don't come at me with any kind of stuff. It is what it is. And it's preventable. So please do not post pictures like that for likes, because it's not cute. It's not funny. It's dangerous.
Very good. Thank you. Honestly, that's really good to know, because I know, I know you're a pity mom. Mm-hmm. You love your pit bulls and you have rescued so many. In fact, Patti was just telling me about a big case that she was working on this week, and her heart and soul is put into this. Here's the thing. Yeah, pit bulls can be whatever it is. I am going to trust Patti when it comes to pit bulls and our breeds and everything else. And the reason is first of all, I'm not going to go by headlines. I'm not going to go by the stigmas and everything. If anything, I'm sorry, but has anybody seen Father of the Bride with the Doberman pinchers? That's where I'm just like, where are the Dobermans? Like, but those are my type of babies, like those, but they're on my bed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we have to be very proactive. We have to be smart as pet parents. And not only could a pit bull, a Doberman, whatever, a high risk breed, a cat, a Chihuahua, your cute little ferret that is every single thing. Yep. You have to remember that they are still an animal, and we're working to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we're trying to shove the round. We're trying to shove the round peg in the square hole by trying to force animals to abide by our human convention. They're not humans,
right? And so that's all. My point with all of that too is just to make sure that everybody knows that. Again, when you start following Patti and everything else, you're going to see her heart. You're going to see exactly where she is with all of this. It's amazing. I am learning so much. She saved the dog today, and he is going to a rescue sanctuary.
I didn't save it. I didn't save it. It's just one that I was advocating hard for. Other people were the spearheads of that whole thing. I was just, not super quiet in the background because it's not my nature.
And that's not you.
But it's a dog that, was being unfairly judged, and breed discrimination, entered into the mix. And I will never just sit by quietly and allow that to happen, and even though there was not much I could do other than, support the dad and, buy the stickers and, share the messages.
Right.
It all matters. It all matters.
It absolutely does matter. It absolutely does matter. And again, we are about 10 minutes over of our time tonight. Patti, I would love to have you back on. I have learned so much, and I know that there's a lot of folks that are going to be able to learn a lot from your wisdom and your experience as well. So,
and this is one of my most favorite things is, sharing what's in my dome piece, sharing my experiences, because here's the thing is that what comes as kind of second nature to one doesn't to somebody else. And it is what it is. But at the end of the day, we owe it to each other to kind of share that information.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and again, I'm going to put down all of your links, everything down into the comments. Everybody that is going to follow up on this video, it's going to be posted through Thursday. So you're going to be able to get that 10% off discount for the dog bite prevention webinar that Patti is going to be hosting through Rebel Paws Pet Care. She is abroad. However, she is, I'm sure, just full of knowledge. So if you have any questions, and she can help direct you into the right avenues and everything like that. If you need, of course, I'm here in Ohio, so we're always here to work together. Again, anything else to lead us off tonight? She's the best. I love her energy. Love it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, so much for talking. Guys. Yes, thank you. And we'll see y'all next week for episode 3 of Pawpular Pet Talks. We're going to be hanging out with Angela Christensen, who is also a advocate for Pet Promise. And she is very well in tune with cat rescue and cat adoption as well. So we're really looking forward to learn about that. Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys. Good night.
Bye.